You have a robbery back in 2009. You have,
Ma'am, excuse me, if I can interject, excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt. I was I was a kid, like literally, I was 14 years old when all these crimes happened. So I understand that it looks bad, but I was a minor, and as kids, sometimes we make more mistakes than most others, and that's why I just wanted to point out that all those crimes happened when I was a juvenile.
I understand that. But just because you're a juvenile, when you're 14, do you know right from wrong? Good morning, sir. Can you state
Good
your
morning.
morning? Can you state your name and NDOC number for the record, please?
Jaime Alcaraz, 1066853.
Thank you. I'm Commissioner Bailey. You have Commissioner Christensen here. We're going to conduct your mandatory parole hearing, case CR 2002009, count one, battery by prisoner with a deadly weapon. You have a sentence structure of a minimum of 36 months, a maximum of 96 months. Your PED is March 5th, 2023. Your NPR is April 27th, 2024. You expired this case altogether October 29th, 2024. No holds or detainers that I can see. Actually, you got an immigration hold. Is that correct, caseworker Mullet?
That's correct. Yes, that's correct.
All of that information is correct.
Thank you. On the screen, you're going to see an advisement and rights form, sir. Just let us know if that is your signature on the form and if you
That
understand.
is my signature.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
All right, thanks. So with that being said, you don't have visitors there, do you? No visitors, right?
Do I have what?
Never mind.
Excuse
You
me?
don't have visitors. Never mind. Never mind.
Uh,
Um, do you have an
okay.
opening statement? Anything you want to say?
I do. Um, First of all, I'd like to acknowledge that, I take full responsibility for my actions and everything I've done. I have taken a lot of steps to correct my behavior, starting with myself, with my mind, my mindset. I'm no longer the person that had that work mentality of this environment. A lot of people fall victim to the fact that this environment leads their actions. And I finally understand that this environment no longer defines who I am as a person. I've done things to correct everything in my behavior from going to school, taking every available program. ED is very limited in programs. However, I have recently got enrolled into a new program that has no meritorious credits, but it is of help. I'm doing everything I can to never ever end up in these situations again. If given an opportunity, I'll never end up in this situation again. I have family out there waiting on me. I've already lost my mother being in here. I have my grandmother. She means the world to me, and I feel like she deserves an opportunity for me to go home to her and actually be with her for her, last few years of life. I got a lot of family support. I'm trying everything I can to stay out of trouble. It's hard being in these environments, but I am putting my best foot forward.
Okay. Tell me why you're there right now.
Battery by a prisoner, ma'am. It was a big institutional riot that happened in 2017 where over 40 inmates were involved, and it's a hostile environment up here, ma'am. And I acknowledge that I did wrong. I stabbed the inmate, but it was in self-defense mostly, and the fact that there's 40 people in this chaos everywhere. So this is the only way to protect myself in the moment. But however, I still see the error in my ways. I understand that was I could have made a better choice in that moment, and given the chance, I would have taken that back. I am very remorseful for my actions. And not just because of anything other than the fact that I've hurt somebody, and I'm not that person anymore. I've given myself to God. I've allowed myself to finally understand that this is not somewhere I want to be for the rest of my life. I have a family out there. I have things going for myself. I want to continue to build upon myself. This is no longer a place I'd rather be. And continue with these actions. This is where I'll end up. And I understand that now. I don't want to be here no more.
I understand that. And you mentioned that the only reason that you are regretful is because you hurt someone. But I also see a charge here for a promotion of gang enhancement. You're heavily in the gang, so that's what you guys do. Y'all hurt people, right?
I, I'm no longer part of the gang. I'm no longer part of the gang. I've disassociated myself for a while now. I understand that that's what led me to here. Being part of these groups or environments have led me to this situation that I'm in now, and I no longer partake in that. I understand that that's wrong. I'm not a gang member anymore, man.
Okay, no problem. Let's go ahead and go over your parole risk assessment. If there's anything you hear that's incorrect or that you would like to talk about in detail, you can let us know, okay?
Say that again.
I said, let's go over your parole risk assessment. If there's
Okay.
anything that you hear that you would like to talk about in detail, you can let us know, okay?
Okay.
You were 19 years or younger when you were first arrested. You have no prior parole or probation revocations. You were not employed full-time prior to this instant offense. Looks like you were incarcerated. You have
Yep.
no, you have a history of property offenses. Look like you have a robbery back in 2009. You have,
Ma'am, excuse me. If I if I can interject, excuse me. I don't mean to interrupt. I was I was a kid. Like literally, I was 14 years old when all these crimes happened. So I understand that it looks bad, but I was a minor, and as kids, sometimes we make more mistakes than most others, and that's why I just wanted to point out that all those crimes happened when I was a juvenile.
I understand that. But just because you're a juvenile, when you're 14, do you know right from wrong?
Yes, but
You do?
it,
Okay.
it
Okay,
yes,
listen. You're a
to an extent.
juvenile, you know right from wrong. Did you know that when you were committing that robbery at the time, did you know it was wrong?
Yes, absolutely.
So
And and and, and I
because you were a juvenile, you knew it was wrong, you know right from wrong. Does that mean that this state should overlook anything that you do as a juvenile, even if you hurt
absolutely
someone?
not, man.
Okay.
Absolutely not, man. And all I'm simply saying is, please take into consideration that as a kid, one has a work mentality being in the streets. As a kid, other than a grown adult, I now understand the difference between the right and wrong. Even though I did back then as well, it's a little bit different because now I understand the ramifications of my actions a little bit more long term, and that's what I was trying to, say.
Understood. You are a male. You have three prior felonies. You have a problem with drugs and or alcohol. Indicates that your file indicates that marijuana and alcohol use from the age of 12, but you do not have any related arrests or convictions as it relates to drugs and or alcohol. That's understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, you're 29 years old. You're an associate of Nevada Trece. You have no long-term programming. Have you been programming?
Yes, ma'am.
Have
So
have
Edie
you
does.
completed any programming?
Excuse me.
Have you completed any?
Yes. So I'm taking outside programming. Like I had wrote on the thing. I'm taking city yoga courses because Ely has no programs available at the time that I was doing this. So I've taken it upon myself to go to the outside source. And right now, Ely finally got approved for a new program called Hustle 2.0, which I got signed up for. But other than that, there is no more programs available that I could take up here. But I
Okay,
have been programming. Yes, ma'am.
okay. And it looks like you have three disciplinaries noted in the last 12 months. You're currently in maximum security. You have a total risk score of a 13, which is a high risk to reoffend. And the only thing that this panel has to consider is it if it's safe to put you back in the community, if you're not a violent person, and you just got to worry about the community. Is there anything else that you want to
Ma'am.
talk about?
Yes, ma'am. I am not a threat to society, ma'am. If given the opportunity, I will show that I can reform out there and I can adapt to. I have a job waiting for me if my immigration status is corrected, which I'll probably be deported if I don't. But I got a job lined up. I got family support. I got everything going for me, and I had it last time as well, but like I'm not a threat to society, ma'am. I've done everything I can to show that I'm not, and it's unfortunate because this environment is so hostile. I no longer want to be here. I have people waiting on me out there. I have my family. I'm sure they wrote letters on my behalf. you know, and they'll explain to you, like, man, they just want to have me home. I want to be back with my family.
Okay, understood. And speaking of letters, I do have them and I read them. And your family, Allison Reyes, I want to say Guadalupe, Maria Guadalupe wrote a letter for you. And yeah, Maria de Los Angeles Reyes wrote a letter for you.
Yes.
So people did write their letters in support of you, of your parole, just so you know.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
No problem. Do you have anything for me? Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, ma'am. Please have mercy. You know, I just please, man. Please consider me. I want to go home. I'm tired of being here. I've been in here since I was 14 years old, man. I'm 29 years old. That's literally a lifetime. I'm ready for the next step in my life.
Okay. What's your
I've
plans?
been to parole 7 times.
Is there a good chance you're going back to Mexico or what? What's the plan?
Yes, there's a high probability. I have to go see it after I'm done with this. I have to go see an immigration judge. I've been out here since I was 6 months old, man. But you know, because I've caught these cases, it kind of impacted my immigration negatively. However, if I am allowed to stay, I have a job ready for me. I got housing. I got family support. I got a girlfriend out here. I got everything going for me. And it's not like I'm going out here to nothing.
Okay. All right. All right. It's important you know that the safety of the victim, the victim's family, and the general public will be considered before any parole or post-judgment release decision is made. And if release is granted, the same will be considered in fixing release conditions. It's going to take 4 out of the 7 commissioners to say yes to this grant. Contact your caseworker in about 2 weeks for the results of this hearing. Good luck to you.
Thank you, man. God bless.
Thank you.